Good morning, Lakers. It is Thursday, May 2nd. I'm Dell.
And I'm Success, and this is your Laker Update. West Bloomfield is home of many great experiences, but food is the topic today. Reporter Israel Dabbs has more information about some wonderful places.
When you think of a place to get food, you usually think of a sit-down restaurant or a fast food place. Lucky for West Bloomfield, there's plenty of those places in our area. Every day, people like to gather together and hang out at places that normally serve food. It's a casual way to interact with friends. So we asked around the high school for any information on well-known food service locations in the area.
I like going to Champs, and I like going to Buffalo Wild Wings.
A good place to eat is a Mexican place called Don Juan's. Not that pricey, they're cheap.
There's a lot of good frozen yogurt in West Bloomfield, like Menchie's.
We originally expected to get typical answers such as fast food locations. We were given names of restaurants and sit-down diners.
Probably my favorite restaurant around here would be Red Robin. What's cool about them is if you buy fries, you can get like as many as you want.
We even asked some teachers if they could recommend any nearby restaurants.
I don't eat often in West Bloomfield because I don't live here, but when I do, I often go to the Red Coat Tavern. So because I really like their hamburgers, and it's a nice atmosphere, and I think that it's easy to get in and out of and have a nice meal.
With these places in mind, you can take it from your peers to visit these restaurants. This is Israel Dabbs with Laker Update.
Now that the SAT and SAT test is over, it's time for freshmen and sophomores to get a head start on their preparation. Ms. Essick has tips from those in the trenches on ways to help you achieve a higher score.
Hi, West Bloomfield. My name is Mrs. Essig, and I'm the College and Career Counselor here in the high school. I'm another resource for you in addition to your counselor, so hopefully by now you've made it down to my area to meet with me. Today I want to speak with you about college ACT and SAT preparation. Now is the time, if you are in 10th grade and a junior, to start thinking about what are you going to do over the summer to prepare yourself for standardized tests. So today I want to turn it over to our experts, our seniors who have provided wonderful input on what they did to prepare for the ACT or the SAT, and you can hear great advice from them.
My advice for taking the SAT would be to take lots of practice tests. For me, it made sure that I had enough endurance to go through the whole test, and make sure that I had test-taking strategies to make sure that I would be able to answer all the questions in a reasonable amount of time without having to worry about skipping questions.
My advice would be to just start early. I have a lot of friends who kind of waited till later, and then it got hard with them with APs and stuff, so start early and take a lot of practice tests and you'll be fine.
I'd say you don't really have to buy into the whole tutoring thing where you have to spend tons of money, because I didn't spend any money on my studying. I literally just went to the library and got study books or checked out things online where they had old practice tests, or there was this thing called UWorlds that I found a free subscription for. So I just used a bunch of free things online or from the library, and that helped.
For the SAT, I definitely use Khan Academy. I did have access to a tutor, but Khan Academy helped me more because I could take more practice tests and see where I was going wrong. But also having a tutor really helped me figure out the patterns of the test, because there is a pattern to testing, especially on the ACT. If you know the pattern, it makes the test a lot easier, especially for the English section. And the most important thing is reading for context, especially in all the sections, reading, math, and science on the ACT. Just reading. You don't have to know science, but if you read, then it really helps you answer the questions more. And the most important thing you want to focus on is time, pacing yourself, making sure you have enough time to answer the questions, because I know a lot of people, they struggle with answering the questions in enough time, and then they get answers wrong that way. So making sure you practice enough to know how much time you need for each question.
I think when you're in the preparation process, you kind of have to know yourself, and you have to know how disciplined you are and how much you need a tutor. Even if you need tutoring, for example, I had the discipline to sit down with some books and study on my own, so I didn't have to pay for tutoring to get my good score. So it's really up to you. I know a lot of people kind of wonder if they should pay for tutoring, so that would be my advice on that. The other thing would be take a lot of practice tests, because the questions themselves aren't that hard. It's about getting all of your answers in within the time limit, or at least it was for me. So, for example, I went to the library and I got like a book full of like 9 practice tests. I used all the ones on Khan Academy, and I think that practice was the most helpful. And Khan Academy, don't underestimate Khan Academy, it's really helpful.
My advice would be do not compare yourself to any other person or student. I feel like as a student myself, I found myself comparing myself to other people when they told me their scores. So really just focus on yourself because we're all on different paths and it's just a number and it doesn't define who you are. And in addition to not comparing yourself to anybody else, I'd say really use Khan Academy because the more you use it, the better you get. And the earlier you start, the more practice you get.
I definitely recommend to take both exams. For me, the SAT was my preferred option, but a lot of students like the ACT, so it's best advised to take both to see which one better fits you. I would also definitely recommend Khan Academy as a study resource because for me, it definitely improved my score a lot, and so take full advantage of that.
My advice would be to take as much practice as you can because you need to learn how to take the test and what the test takers want from you more than you need to learn the actual content.
Thank you so much, seniors, for all of your wonderful advice. I think the bottom line is do something, prepare, make yourself feel more comfortable with the exams, and good luck.
Football or basketball? Basketball or football? Which one is better? Reporter Wyatt Friedman tries to figure out which one students like more.
There's been an ongoing debate around the world about which sport is better, football or basketball. We came here to West Bloomfield High School to find out which sport is enjoyed more. The West Bloomfield High School football team has achieved a 14-4 regular season record over the past 2 regular seasons, including 2 district championships, a regional championship, and a state title appearance.
So the football season obviously could have gone better, seeing as we didn't end it 14-0 with a ring. We lost to Belleville. Belleville was a pretty good team. And I think that we could have done better that game. Obviously, we only scored like 10 points. I think next year we're going to be great. We lost a couple key players, though. Shout out to Trayvon Yannis Mosley and Lance Terry Dixon. I love them.
Our season went good, you feel me? For football, we went 7-2. Man, my team, we some savages. Everybody on there, we all some savages. All our seniors, we all going to college. We had a real nice season. Man.
The West Bloomfield High School basketball team achieved an 8-12 record. Last year, the team also made a state title appearance.
Between basketball and football, I think now I believe football is the better sport because that's what I like. But I still love basketball. And football season went great this year, but we wanted to go a little bit further. But that's in the past. In the basketball season, it went all right. We had our ups and downs, but we still worked hard throughout the season, even though it didn't go the way we planned. But that's in the past, too, and we look forward to better things.
Football season's a lot more fun to cheer for because the atmosphere is much greater. There's close to 1,000 people at every football game, and so the atmosphere is a lot better than basketball games. However, in a basketball game, there's so many more hype moments. There's always change of pace. There's people losing the ball, turnovers, dunks every other play. I mean, they're both great fun to watch. If I'm being honest, I like playing basketball more because, I'm 5'8". I can't really play football. But
just because you play at Lifetime does not make you a good basketball player? I like football better because it's more hype. And, high-key, no one comes to the basketball game, so show up next time, please and thanks.
Both sports have their perks, but here at WB, football is enjoyed more. I'm Wyatt Feldman reporting for Laker Update.
The University of Michigan has had a pretty good basketball team. Although their stats don't always show in the playoffs, their diehard fans have hope. Reporter Corey Williams spoke with students about their opinions regarding the Michigan basketball team.
Over the past few years, the University of Michigan basketball team has been one of the best in the country, with 2 national championship appearances in the past 7 years. So you want to see what WB thinks about their home state basketball team. John Beeline took the University of Michigan basketball team all the way to the Sweet 16. Even with the tough loss against Texas Tech, the University of Michigan posted a 30-7 overall record. That's pretty good. So we want to see what WB thinks about the University of Michigan basketball team.
I'm not really a big fan of basketball, but I think they're pretty good. They'll be decent next year too.
I think they've been a solid contender over the past few years. It's really good considering football has been kind of slacking recently, but people forget sometimes that University of Michigan's basketball is it's pretty elite. Always, I think the past 2 years we've been ranked top 10 at least. Which is really good. Made it to the tournament. Unfortunately, this year took a tough L to Texas Tech, but John Boleen is an amazing coach. He recruits really good guys. I think they run through a brick wall for him. So they've been pretty solid. I think they're going to continue to grow as a team, as a unit. Hopefully see a championship in the next 5 years.
I think they're going to do good, and then they get into March Madness and just fold. Like, they disappoint me every year, I swear.
I mean, personally, I like Michigan football a lot more. I don't play basketball, so I know you didn't really ask that, but I'm just saying.
All opinion aside, the University of Michigan basketball team is going to be one of the best in the country for years to come. This is Corey Williams reporting for Laker Update. Go.
Now here is a look at your sports today. At 4 p.m., boys freshman baseball will take on Seaholm High School in Birmingham. Boys JV baseball will travel to Detroit Country Day for their game. Boys varsity baseball will take on Bishop Foley in Madison Heights, and girls varsity tennis will meet against Rochester High School in Rochester. At 4:30 p.m., the girls varsity softball team will face off against Hazel Park High School in Hazel Park. Beginning at 5, boys varsity lacrosse will battle Avondale High School in Auburn Hills. Girls JV and varsity soccer will be home and take on Berkeley High School beginning at 5:30 p.m. Come out and support your fellow Lakers.
Now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for watching Laker Update.
You can connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and LakerUpdate.com. Have a great day, Lakers.